Bring them in, bring them in, bring them in. All right, we are back with episode 14, Sunday Chirps. It's been a hot sec since we were together. Good to see you.
Yeah,
How have you been?
you too. Very good. I had been through a crazy couple of weeks, graduation, and a lot going on. What about you?
You know, the usual. Actually went up to New York, got to see each other. That was nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm trying to think. There's been some wild stuff going on, and I can't. Like, I need to go back and look through like the Twitter feed and just see like the craziness here. But no, it's been good. No complaints. Spring hockey's over, so kind of quieted down. Definitely a lot more free time, and it's a bittersweet time of the year. We've got the Stanley Cup Finals, and
Mhm.
only a couple weeks left, which probably the two most exciting weeks of the year.
Yep.
But at the same time, our time is just about over for hockey for the year, and then we have to wait all that time till NFL kicks off. Um, so comes
Yep.
and
Get
goes.
to enjoy our summer though.
Exactly. And yeah, so today we're gonna jump through the Eastern Conference Final, the Western Conference Final, and then our thoughts on the Stanley Cup Finals. So just wanted to let you guys know today's episode is brought to you by Bad Birdie. It's the best golf apparel. It's one of the few companies I'll wear on the golf course. It's just super soft and you could sweat in it, but it's not uncomfortable. Not like that cotton where it's super like it just makes you feel like itchy and wet the whole time. It's really moisture wicking, the Bad Birdie stuff. So yeah, always rocking that on the golf course here in Florida. If you want to get a discount, use code Jared15. That is JARROD 15 for 15% off your order at badbirdiegolf.com. So without further, let's jump right into the Panthers versus Hurricane series. So Eastern Conference Final. What are our initial thoughts?
Um, Great series. I thought the Panthers were dominant the entire time. They controlled the games, and Carolina got caught. And I think that even the Devils could have made that a better series, but great series to watch, and Kachuk was showed his class that series. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, I know Rod the Bod, Brendan Moore was talking it wasn't a sweep. It obviously was a sweep. They won in 4 games.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
make
know what
sense.
he's saying though. Every game was like a 1 point game. Like OT for the first 2 games, and then I think it was a
Yeah,
1 point game the next two.
I mean, and
Looking
they scored with like 5 seconds and they game winner. So like
yeah.
it doesn't really count as a sweep too. Yeah, that could have went to overtime.
Yeah, so I mean, one lucky bounce and the games could have been totally different. I think the Panthers, I mean, look, Bob played out of his mind. I think there was games that Bob stole, like straight up
Yeah,
stole, full
yep,
periods, and then it would just be some gritty ass fucking goal where the Panthers got away and found one behind Ronta or Freddie, which also I think shows like that's weaker goaltending there.
yeah, it
Um,
is.
and I think that's well, I mean, we'll get into later, but I think that's something the Panthers don't haven't really run into an unreal goalie. They've faced a bunch of like goalies.
Yeah,
Nothing crazy where they went through um Ronta, Freddie. There's love the guys, but they're nothing exceptional. They played Olmark, who was in like
not
flu.
playing, not
Yeah.
even playing at his best. I guess. I mean, he might have been hurt or something, but we don't know.
Well, he had a stomach bug the first two
Oh
games,
yeah.
and then they were rattled the next like five.
Hmm.
Um, and then he faced who's it, Devils and Vanacek and what's his name, Akira. They both played awful.
Now
Um,
the Hurricanes played the Devils.
oh sorry, the Panthers played Leafs. The Leafs with fucking Samsonov. Yeah, he was trash.
Yeah,
Um, so they really haven't faced a true goal yet. I don't need to save this for the Stanley Cup final, but yeah, the Panthers. If Bob keeps playing the way he is, they're just scary, and that's why they won that series. A big part of it, and the
yeah,
offense just chipped away at it, and they're just gritty, and they got the job done. Their defense is scary in a not good way. There's a
Yeah,
lack of defense. They're very offensive minded. But I think, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but Mark Stahl really stepped up. Him and Gudas and played a great defensive presence. And I think too, going into the Stanley Cup final, there's a lack of defense played by the offense where they're not two-way forwards. They're one way, and that's going to be a little bit of an issue, I think, come Stanley Cup
yeah. Well,
final.
it could be. Yeah, it could be a big I mean, Mark Stahl. We've seen for the Rangers how he is stay-at-home defense. He's very deep in his zone. I mean, if they can get shots off Jack Eichel, William Karlsson, like they're gonna score goals.
Yep. So let's jump to the Dallas Vegas series. That was a Western Conference final. I
Yeah,
was a little bit surprised about this one.
yeah, I was
Um,
too.
Thought it was gonna be a little bit closer, and we had the Jamie Benn suspension, which actually was the best thing for the Dallas. Grabbed
Yeah,
two
it was.
games there. What do you think they should have done? Do you think they should have been like, "Hey, Jamie, like we just won two without you. Like, you're not coming back, even though you're
Nah,
captain."
you can't sit him. I mean, he's a big part of that team and why they're there. I mean, it just hockey. It's just what happens. Like maybe it was just those two games he missed, like killed his rhythm or something. I don't know what it was, but he was not there for that team, and it cost them. I mean, they got
And
what I said it on Twitter. They got what they deserved for that hit.
yeah, Ottinger, a little bit underwhelming. He had games where he was back to his playoff Ottinger, unreal,
Yep.
and games where it just wasn't there, and Wedgwood had to come in and play. So definitely a little bit surprising. Ryan Suter looked god awful.
Yeah. He had a couple of shifts that were playing the wrong man or just not getting to the puck in time and costing them goals. I mean,
Just like lackadaisical out there. It was weird.
yeah, it was weird.
And then Pavelski, Captain America. What a guy. Like I just love that man. He's like 38 now and he's still tearing it up. He's now the active playoff goal leader among
Good
all
for him.
players.
Good for him.
So that's awesome. Um, but this Vegas team's a fucking wagon. They're just grinding. There's just so much depth. They
Yeah,
don't
there
have a
is.
bad player on that roster, and their fourth string goalie Aiden Hill is playing out of his mind,
Yep. Yep.
and
It's
backing him up
true.
is Quick. What if we see Quick come in?
Yeah, I know. If he, uh, we might go into this, but I mean, if Hill does have some games where Florida goes on a couple of hot streaks, gets a couple goals, they could put him in. I mean, he has
Yeah,
the backup.
or injury. That'd be a
He could get,
crazy
yeah, that
story.
would. He could get hot too.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Robo really showed up big time that series. I think he had
Yeah, he
like a
did.
two-goal game. I think he had like half their goals in that series, which is unreal.
Yeah,
Um,
someone tried to show me up on Twitter that Robo was non-existent in the series, and then the next three games he has like two goals a game. I mean, mark my words, mark your words, my guy,
oh
whoever
my
that
God.
was.
No, that's hilarious. But no, that was a pretty good series. I mean, tough look for Dallas in game six to lose what, 6-0, I think.
Yeah, 6-0,
That's a tough break.
really is. Yeah, but there's nothing you can do. They're deep. I mean, we talked about this a couple episodes back, like how getting that rested Mark Stone. Like all these guys are just rested and ready to go for a cup run. Like the long term injury list, like you don't have to take any salary cap on. It's the smartest move you can make.
Speaking of salary cap, Jamie Benn still, I think, another 2 years at 10.5 million or nine and a half
Yeah,
million. What the fuck do you do about that?
yeah. What do you do? Take a pay cut? I mean, he is the captain.
No, well, if you try to trade him, no one's taking that salary. You need to eat like 75%.
Yeah, you do.
Um, and then
Trade some
he's not going to
picks.
be like a top six forward. He's going to be like a third line center on like Minnesota or something. I don't even
Yep.
know.
Yeah, he is.
So
No,
that's
he's still got some juice in him though. I still think he's with the Stars for a little bit.
and Domi's free agent. He might be a good grab for some teams. Grabbing
Yeah, he
Max
might.
Domi.
Yeah, he played really good in the playoffs. Great playoff for him.
Going back to the Eastern Conference Final, I know like Hurricanes were wounded. Like, is it a difference if they had? I mean, it definitely is. But Pacioretty, and who else was hurt in that series?
Svechnikov.
Svechnikov, like that. Those are game changers.
Yep, they are. I mean, it definitely would have been a difference. Probably would have went to 7 or not be a sweep at least.
Yeah,
But we don't know, and it happened. I mean, the Kachuk played the clutch card and showed up for them.
yeah. I mean, are you like as a Hurricane? No, not that you're a Hurricanes fan, but if you were a Hurricanes fan, are you mad at the GM for not going for anyone during the deadline? I mean, they got no one added.
Yeah, I know. You have to be a little disappointed, but I mean, I think they're a team that's really tight on salary cap too. I mean, do you want to trade away some like tough prospects for? I mean, some rentals. I mean, the Rangers are doing it right now, but like it might cost us like soon.
Yeah, but at the same time, like the Panthers, not Panthers, the Hurricanes, they just got bullied out there, and they have like you don't have to go for a rental. Like you get a long
Yeah,
term guy. You're missing all these players from injury, and you go to the conference final or deep playoff run every year and show up empty handed. No Stanley
yeah,
Cup final appearance. So like
yeah,
something's got to change. You have a great
yeah.
team, but not good enough.
I hope they fired Brindamore and the Rangers can grab him.
Yeah, I don't think they're firing Brendan Moore, and I don't think the Rangers are gonna get him. But that'd
That
be
would be
nice.
amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, it would be.
But you want to jump to the Stanley Cup final now?
Yeah, we can jump to it. I could start. We're gonna have brand new Stanley Cup winner. Love to see that. Something that hasn't happened probably in a couple of years, right?
For what?
A new Stanley Cup winner.
Yeah, I don't really know the last one, but it's awesome to see two new markets emerging. Hopefully, be big hockey communities.
Yeah, West Coast team and a Southern team. I mean, you'd love to see like one of them get a cup, get some expansion that to those areas.
100%. No, I mean it's been electric. I went to one of the games last series. They closed down a street in Fort Lauderdale, and like the Panthers girls were out there. Like they set up a whole blow up with like they got the TV going. They partnered up with some of the bars. It was
Yeah,
like $25 beer buckets. Everyone was in the streets just getting ripped. There was there had to be like 600 people there. It was a
wow.
great time.
Yeah,
I'm actually gonna look for something now, but it's been so on and off, like hurricane weather and then beautiful sunny, because hurricane season just started now, which sucks.
yeah, it does.
But no, I hope to find a spot tonight, which is in like an hour and a half. The
Yeah,
game starts.
go on live or something on Instagram or
Yeah,
maybe
I could do that. Maybe I'll do that later.
let's be on the lookout for that, everyone.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, this we're gonna set this up to go out like right before game start, so hopefully you could catch it post game and see how right or wrong we are. But yeah, super exciting to see a new Stanley Cup winner.
Yes.
I think there's so many moving pieces in this series. Um, I think for one, we spoke about this briefly, but the Panthers haven't faced a true goalie. And on the flip side, Vegas has faced some of the best goalies in the league. I mean, they
Yeah.
played Stuart Skinner, which he was pretty hot at first, and then he kind of
Yeah, he
cooled off.
was. And it's
But
McDavid and Drysdale. I mean, you got to beat.
but they went against Ottinger, who played outstanding for several of the games. They went up against in the first series. They played who is that? Oh, Hellbuck. Hellbuck was
Oh
playing
yeah.
out. He's like a Vezina finalist. He was playing
Yep. Yep.
unreal, and they just break these goalies. Like Ottinger, like we never seen him break like he did against Vegas.
Yeah.
So Bob, outstanding. Are they? If they break Bob, I don't think it's gonna be a series. Like it's
Hmm.
gonna be a gentleman's sweep if Bob breaks.
Ooh,
So,
bold take.
oh,
Do
I
they
mean, if
break
you have no
Bob?
goaltending, you
Well,
put
I
Alex.
mean, Alex Leon, and then we'll see how he's been playing amazing too for them.
Well,
One
he
of the
hasn't played a
reasons they're
game.
one of the reasons they made the playoffs right there.
Yeah, but he hasn't played a game in like a month and a half,
I know,
so that
but
hurts.
you never know though. I mean, they didn't play Hill, and he just came in ready to go.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You just never know. And on top of that too, you want to talk about another game breaker right there. The Panthers haven't played a game in 10 days. So you could look at, oh, they have time to rest, but I don't think that's what they wanted. You want a few days to rest, obviously, but
Yeah.
they not playing for 10 days, like it throws off the rhythm. They're used to playing like every other night, and they're a team that I think feeds off like the energy. And 10 days of kind of like, oh, like let's just chill. We're in the Stanley Cup final. Like wake like this first period, if Vegas comes out
Yeah.
hot, it's gonna be scary for Florida fans
No,
because
it could.
they're
It could.
sleeping.
It really could. Yeah. They got to come out ready to go. I mean, it's good and it's bad. I mean, you're well rested, but you are getting that lack of game time and that game pace. I mean, it might cost them a game or two, but I think they'll be ready. I think they're well rested and ready to go.
The good thing is they play their first two games away.
Yeah,
So, like, worst case scenario, they drop two on the road. They could come home and win them. Obviously, I don't think they want to. I think if
they
Panthers
want
could
to. Yeah, they're gonna
split,
want to steal one.
yeah, exactly. So that's one of the key things. I think um, we're going to talk about X factors. My guy Barbashev is a fucking X factor, bro. This guy has been playing out of his mind lately.
Yeah, him and Marshall are the same line, right?
I believe so. I think it's Barbashev, Eichel, Marshall, which is an
Yeah, that
insane
line
line.
is just unbelievable right now. I mean, this team is just so deep. I mean, they can roll anyone with any line, and they're just good to go. Vegas is one of those teams that got lucky from the expansion draft to get
That's kind
some
of
of these guys. I mean, and they built off of it.
that's kind of why I think like my pick is Vegas. As much as I want Panthers to win,
Yeah,
the
they're a
fact that
juggernaut.
yeah,
There's no doubt.
the fact that you could roll four lines and your first your first, second, and third line centers could basically be first or second line on any other team. I mean, Carlson's your third line center. That's outrageous.
Yeah, it is.
Stevenson's playing unreal. You got Mark Stone, Marshall Saw, like Barbashev, Eichel. Like there's just so much depth. And then on D, your first D pair is Petrangelo and um, Alec Martinez. Two
Yeah,
players have won. That's three Stanley Cups between two of them.
and
And
his
then you got,
experience. Yeah, if we talked, we said this experience is going to be a factor. I mean, they Panthers. How many players do they have?
I
Like
want to say they have
three.
like one or two that have seen a playoff,
Yeah,
Stanley Cup
seen a
final.
Stanley Cup. Yeah. So I mean that this could play a factor in what's going to happen this series. I mean the lack of experience that the Panthers have. I mean they should be told by the veterans like what's to come, what to do, and they should be ready to go though.
And when we talk about the four line depth, they're rolling those four lines on Vegas. And not only are they offensively producing, they're all two-way forwards for the most part that
Yeah,
are
they
getting
are.
back. Like we talk about with the Panthers, look, they have a sick forward lineup, but they're not two-way forwards. And their D are barely even D. Like Montour, unreal offensive defenseman.
Yeah.
Defensively, he's not the
Yep.
strongest. So that scares me as a like
I
rooting for the
mean,
Panthers.
but that just happens. You're gonna have role players that are like that. You need defensive minded forwards as well that are gonna cover for your guys. I mean, you could just put them on the defense and let them hang up on the point.
Yeah. And I think it's going to come down to you have two goalies right now that are playing out of their mind. Someone's got to cool off because you
Yeah,
can't both be unreal. Um, and look, Vegas keeps exposing these goalies. I'm a little worried they're going to expose Bobrovsky, who's put the team on his back. So if they light up Bobrovsky, and even if he like they have to switch goalies, that's a game changer just
yeah,
for momentum. And then if they have to
it
put
is.
Bob back in, all the confidence is gone. We'll see mid-season Bobrovsky, which was
Hopefully not.
atrocious.
Yeah, hopefully we don't see that. And he's on this. I mean, I really hope he does stay on. I played amazing this entire playoffs. Like, give him his props. He's probably the best statistical goalie so far, and he should have a good series. I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah. And just like to kind of rewind back, the Panthers story, the Cinderella story is unreal. Like people like, oh, like it's all skill hockey. You want to talk about luck? Blackhawks winning out the last two games, so Penguins don't make it. That
Yeah,
shouldn't have
that
happened.
was just insane. I mean, the team that should have went for Bedard,
Serious. Well, they got
and
Bedard
they
anyway.
still get Bedard.
I know. So you could say that the Panthers shouldn't be in the first place. And then next, you come to the Bruins. They could have iced it multiple times.
Yeah.
Pastrnak hit off the butt end of Bobrovsky's stick. Marchand couldn't end it with like on that breakaway. That would have been a Cinderella story, not Cinderella story. Just like that would have been the
No,
nice
that would have
top
been the
line.
cap. That would have been the cap in the series right there.
Yeah. So just all those pieces leading up to this, and the fact that the Panthers have gone through and done it all is unreal. It's a story. I mean, look, Bruins fans, I guess at this point you got to root for the Panthers. Um, but I mean,
It's a
probably one of the.
heartbreak. It's a heartbreak series for them. Honestly, it's so tough to see your team do this well to just blow it.
So I guess follow up, is it like it's obviously like a failure if you lose in the first round as the Bruins because that's like the greatest team of
Yeah,
all time.
yeah.
If you get to the Stanley Cup final and lose, is it worse or better?
Oof. I would say it's better than losing in the first round,
Yeah.
definitely. But I mean, it does suck to always. I mean, they've been to the Stanley Cup. They went to Game 7 with St. Louis. I mean, it was so tough, and that happened to them too. That was a heartbreak series for them. They had many opportunities to win that series as well.
Yeah. Same with the like on the flip side though, in 2011 when Vancouver lost at home and they should
Yeah.
have won that series as well. So
Yep.
look, I gotta feel bad for Bruins fans. First round is horrible. Probably almost as much emotional damage losing a Stanley Cup final, but I mean, you can't lose that series.
Especially when you're that good. Like that team was actually one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah. And you
Like
know, this year,
together.
yeah, Aiden Hill, they traded fourth rounder for Aiden Hill.
Wow. What was he on? What team?
I'm actually gonna double check now. I'm blanking. But no,
Like
I
the Blue
mean, look,
Jackets or someone?
that was my gut thought, but it was San Jose.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you want to jump to who your biggest X factor for this cup is going to be?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with because I think Vegas is gonna win. Um, I'm gonna go with either Barbashev or Marshall Salt. I just think those two are just unreal. You can even, it's so hard because I think any
You
one
could
of
put
them
that
can
whole
be.
line. You could put that whole line there. Honestly, they're gonna have to be the difference in this series because they're gonna have to put up the points. Like they're the top line, so like you got to do it.
Yeah, or even Aiden Hill. I mean, I could say Carlson. I could really say anyone. There's no real X factor. It's just a team.
Yeah,
That's like the depth is just different.
the
Whereas I
depth
think the
is.
on the other side, the X factor's got to be there's a short list of players. Unless Montour decides to be straight up offense and score all the goals, it's going to be
Yeah,
Kachuk or Bobrovsky. That's going to be the X factor in my opinion. Um,
surprise one for me. I would say Radko Gudis. I mean, if
I
he can
love
have a
that.
good series, if he can have a good defensive series and hold them down, then shut Vegas out somehow, that'd be huge.
No, I agree. That could totally be the X factor.
And you said what was your prediction for the series?
I think Vegas is going to win it in 7.
All right, and I have Panthers in 6.
So yeah, I mean, look, it's gonna be just buckle up. We got a ride ahead of us, and I'd
Enjoy
say
the
there'll
show.
be at least 2 more episodes by the end of the series. So maybe a midway and then the a recap of it all.
Yeah,
So let's kind of jump to just around the horn, like what's going on. Um, so Babcock, like literally, what is like an hour ago that he's going to the Blue Jackets.
the head coaching carousel coming back to the
So,
NHL. Well, his last stint was what the Maple Leafs,
Leafs,
right?
yeah.
It's gonna be exciting.
And then Dubas. There's actually some legal stuff with this right now going on because apparently, like, his agent and Matthew's agent is the same person. And there's like some fishy stuff that went on. I don't really know any details, and I'm not going to start some rumors. But he's like, oh, like, if I don't get re signed with the Leafs, which they give him offers, he's like, I'm going to take
Did
the
they?
year. Yeah, yeah. They give him offers midway through the year. They're like, re sign like a 2 year, 5 million a year.
Because he
But
said he wanted. He said he was. It was Leafs or nothing, and
yeah. He's like, I just need a mental health break, just spend time with the fam and relax. And there
He's
wasn't even time to relax. Straight to fucking Pittsburgh. Now he's the president of hockey operations.
yeah,
And the Leafs hired Brad Treliving from Calgary as their new GM,
yeah,
who now has to sign Matthews in the next 30 days. Not even.
And Marner too, right?
Oh, the rumor boys. I was listening to Chicklets, and Marner might go to the Hurricanes.
Oh,
That'd be
I always
crazy.
I always thought that Timo Meyer should have went to. I thought he was a way better fit on the Hurricanes than the Devils, but he's a free agent too, right?
Who?
Timo Meyer.
Team? No. Did they lock him up? I don't even know. I think he resigned with Devils.
Oh, did he?
I
They
think
should.
so.
I always Carolina should have jumped on that and when Svechnikov got hurt.
Yeah, that was a mistake,
That was.
but it is what it is.
Next one we can move on. Andrew Burnett to the Predators, the Devils' assistant coach. I thought this was a huge miss for the Rangers to grab. I thought he was one of our like top choices. Had to be like right there. I mean, they just beat us like badly, and
Yeah.
they quickly adjusted to us. And he could have easily been like had a great power play for us, great penalty kill system, like, and he would have played the kids too. He figured a way to play young players.
And he was good with the Panthers as well the year before, 2 years
Yeah,
ago. So that's a miss. I don't even know who the Rangers are going to hire. What is it, like Lavalette they're looking at? Hines.
interested and John Hines. I mean,
What
they
about,
both got fired, and Quenville was out of the discussion.
well, you still got to deal with like the legality stuff with the league.
Yeah,
But
that's a
what about
problem.
what about like a retired player like rumor boys starting Patty Waugh or
Patty
seeing
Waugh.
Mark
He,
Messier come and take the helm? I
that would
have
be
no idea how
nice.
they do. It's just so hard for
I,
me to understand.
Everything has been so closed doors with the Rangers right now. Drury does not want anything to leak. I mean, they might have interviewed them, but we have no clue. Nothing's
Yeah, I
been
don't know.
said. But
Yo,
I'm guessing a decision will come probably like right after the cup for them.
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And
Yeah,
then
it
it
would.
brings us to Patty Kane with hip surgery. He's a free agent right now too, right?
He is. But like this could be huge. Like he could just sign like a cheap contract, be put on the long term injury list till the playoffs, and then just wait till then. And you never have to worry about the salary cap.
He could, or
Or you can give him like a 5 year deal until
I
he's
think
like
he's getting a
40.
hometown discount, bro. I really do.
The Buffalo.
I think he's going to Buffalo.
We'll see about
I just
this.
think the Rangers team, they just threw like, it's like as if you, I don't know, I've never really played the GM mode in Chell, but it's like if you just put like your first line was like Ovechkin, Malkin, well, that's a bad line
Yeah.
because like Ovechkin, Kucherov, and Malkin, and like there's just negative chemistry. So like
Yeah.
all three of them are waiting for that one timer, and they're all one timer guys, and no one's passing to them because they're all like, oh no, I'm the one timer guy.
Yeah.
So
They're shoot first mentality. Yeah. Like stuff like that. It's just not what we needed, Patrick Kane. He clearly was hurt or something and don't need that for a playoff run.
I mean, look at Kraken. They had four lines of just
So,
above average players, but just no superstars. I mean, I think that's gonna be
but the
what's gonna,
effort, it was just all
yeah,
heart. It was all about the heart that they put into it.
yeah.
They
And
they
look, they had,
forechecked harder. They did everything. They were to the puck first. Everything.
yeah. I think it's not a superstar game anymore. I mean, like, you have to be like super, like, Drysaitel and McDavid are game breakers, but at this point, I don't really see Patty Kane as a game breaker anymore.
Yeah, no, he's not. I mean, but
So,
also Drysdale and McDavid didn't even win it, and they need more. They need
yeah,
help. You can't win it with one line.
they went just as far as the Kraken did.
Yeah,
But one last little thought. So I think a good way to get more hockey fans, you know how like the NFL has Red Zone and they have like
yeah.
their 1 p.m. slot. I don't think the NHL should do Red Zone just because NFL games are so much slower.
And there's
So
also way more NHL games.
Yeah, but I think that they should like once the Super Bowl's over, like those Sundays are wide open. Like aside from like the Masters and like any other big Sunday events,
Yeah,
slate Sundays. Like I would love to see like if they had a like they do this occasionally, but like 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., 7 p.m. Dude, slate that whole afternoon. Like let me sit there hungover after a night of going out and watch fucking NHL hockey. Like that's
yeah,
what I want to do every Sunday anyway. So it's when the NFL's over, like I'm just twiddling my thumbs. So just throw me some NHL games. I don't want to stay up till
yeah,
midnight.
yeah. I agree. And the only way we can watch is just do some illegal stream to watch like a game that's like random.
Yeah, and stop with ESPN. That's just outrageous.
Yeah,
But
I
that's just me
but they just
ranting.
signed a huge deal, so I mean, there's nothing we can do about it now.
Yeah, I mean, they just need to figure it out. There's got to be a better way to do it.
A better, yeah, that better method.
I don't even care if like if they just make it like
The
ESPN 8. Like if they
ESPN
throw
should ESPN should make like some sort of red zone method, and like you could just click one button and it would just go. You could click to any game or something, or it would just have every game on the screen.
yeah, like if they had like the like MSG 150, but it was just
Yeah,
like the red zone, like every like power play, penalty kill,
yeah,
goal, big play, big save, like and then just rolling the highlights. I mean,
yeah.
that could
It'd
be a good way
work.
to get some new fans.
Yeah, it would, because it's just all the entertaining parts.
Yeah, it could be like you can even sponsor it. Make it like the American Express countdown of like the best 10 plays of the
Not
last
even that.
hour. No, yeah, not even
Like
I don't even mean top 10.
not like American Express, like NHL, like
In the
I don't even
crease.
know.
There you go.
Yeah, 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 in the crease, something like that.
In the crease brought to you by American Express. And it or like I don't know, what like just something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it would
Make some
work.
more
Yeah,
money.
Discover something. I don't know.
Seriously.
With
But
the dumbass jerseys, fanatics.
it's fanatics for fans. It's not meant to be for like the fucking players. But you know what? They're taking over the Adidas factories, so it's gonna be the same things, just with Fanatics logo. So I hope be better. If I'm being
Oh, so it
honest
might
though,
be
I
better
wasn't a huge.
quality.
You should be same quality, identical. But I'm still wasn't a huge fan of Adidas. Like I miss those Reebok jerseys.
Yeah, I do too.
And bring back the
Quality
alternates.
jerseys.
We need more alternate jerseys. Like we
We
need something
do.
like no one's rocking like the Islanders current like just blue and orange. No offense, Islanders fans, but you throw like you make a fisherman hat, Islanders, dude, I would rock that. And I hate the Islanders. I just think it's the dope logo. Or
Yeah, it
like the
is.
promote some more of these minor league teams too. I know we're getting off tangent here, but like, dude, there's the ECHL and the AHL is some sick teams like
Yeah,
San Diego
they can
Gulls.
have some good some designs for their stuff.
Seriously.
They'll get into it. They will soon.
Yeah.
Because like
No,
that's a
I mean
lot of
I
money merchandise.
yeah, and they're merchandising the wrong equipment too. They need to
Yeah,
get bring alternates. If they merchandise the shit out of these alternate jerseys, give me the Hartford Whalers. Give me the
and like
Nordiques.
yeah, and you don't even have to do like jerseys. You could do like little stuff like hats, like beanie hats, like jerseys, like stuff like that. It doesn't have to be like the super expensive jerseys
I don't
that
even
are
think the
like two
jerseys are
hundred
where it's
fifty
at.
dollars.
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
because when do you wear a jersey anyway? Like I don't. There's
Besides
never
at a game, you're never wearing a jersey.
and half the people don't like half like especially like in the female standpoint, they're always cold, so like they're rocking like a hoodie half time anyway. Make
Yeah.
some sick ass fucking hoodies. Give me
Yep.
the beanies. Give me the hats. Give me the t-shirts. Those you can actually wear. I don't understand like when make some like dude go all out for like Christmas. Make them sick fucking not what do you call the hoodies? Ugly Christmas sweaters. If they were to
Yeah.
reverse retro ugly sweaters, they would be fucking sick.
They would.
Maybe we should make that. I don't even know.
Some designers.
Seriously. But yeah, let's end this episode. Any last thoughts before we hit it?
No, I'm done.
All
Log
right. Well,
out.
subscribe to the YouTube, follow on Spotify, follow on Apple, and stay tuned for more content. I appreciate the support.
Thank you for listening.
Grant, have a good one. I'll see you later.
Yep. See ya.